For the last few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about connection. Not just friendship, but connection in the wider sense. The feeling of belonging somewhere, being understood, and the feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself. And the strange thing is, we live in the most connected time in human history. Any moment, I could send a message to somebody across the other side of the world and share my thoughts with thousands of people online. And I can access more information and more people than any generation before me. So why do many of us still feel lonely? Today, Kiwi and I are setting out to explore that question. Are we lonelier than ever? So today we're going to try and talk to strangers. We're going to do our best, and Kiwi will draw people in, I'm sure, and we're going to spend some time observing the world around us and see if we can figure out what connection actually looks like in 2026.
Morning light through a diner window, coffee cooling in my hands. A man beside me reads the headlines like he's trying to understand. Outside the trucks roll down the highway, same old ruts, same old dust. Different lives at different tables, still we're all just one of us.
So we've arrived at our filming spot, the same one we were at last time, where we tried to garner some nice interactions with people. I'm feeling really nervous. I should have picked a day where I felt more confident to talk to people. We're here, so we'll give it a try. If anybody wants to answer our questions, then we'll definitely get a coffee to reward ourselves. Yeah, of course. She just wants to smell it. I love your nails, by the way.
Is she, how old is she?
She's almost 4 now.
She's so cute.
She's an angel. We're actually making a video on loneliness and connection. Do you want to answer a question for us? So, what's your name? Sorry.
Janvi.
Janvi, nice to meet you. So, I'm here with Janvi, and I just wanted to ask you, do you think we're more connected or more lonely now as people?
Compared to before?
Do you feel more connected to people, or do you feel more lonely?
I think because I am an immigrant, so for me it's slightly different.
Yeah.
Maybe we are more lonely now compared to before because of social media and all the phone things that we do.
Yeah.
As a child, we were more connected. Like, we didn't have mobile phones, so we used to hang out all the time.
Yeah, so you've experienced a time where there was no social media and there was no connection like that. But technically, we can reach anyone at any time. So in theory, we shouldn't be.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's obviously there, but then being there with someone physically makes a difference.
It does, definitely. So do you think we've kind of sacrificed connection with the people in front of us for connection with the whole world via our phones?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Okay, that's really interesting. Thank you so much. Thanks for answering the question. Sorry to disrupt your lunch as well. Enjoy your lunch. So that was really interesting. Yes, Janvi has obviously experienced a time where we didn't have social media. I did as well. I think I definitely felt more connected to people around me when I was younger than now. Social media and the connection of the internet definitely has a lot to do with that, because I think there are lots of people around, but nobody feels like they're really here. You know, everyone's sort of elsewhere. Hiya. Hi, we're making a video about connection. Can I ask you a question? No, that's all right. Have a lovely day. This is where I have to get over my fear of rejection a little bit, because first of all, it's quite sparse. There's not really many people here, but I am nervous to ask people because people don't really want to talk. I think they think I'm trying to sell them something. That's the thing when you approach people on the street, isn't it? It's like, what are you selling?
She's counting coins at the checkout counter, hoping there'll be just enough. The kid behind her keeps on smiling, though the day already's tough. Every face a quiet story, every heart a little rust. Every road leads back to someone trying hard like one of us.
We were trying to ask people on the street, but everyone thinks we're trying to sell something. But I just want to ask people a question. So do you think we are more connected or more lonely than ever?
What, like, as like a humanity?
Yeah.
I think we're more connected purely and simply because, like, I didn't know you before you came here, and now your dog loves me, and I love your dog. So that's a connection.
That's
and
true. Yeah.
and especially like working in a coffee shop, I think that like I make connections with people every day. I think everyone is connected like in some way.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite a positive thing to think like that.
Yeah.
Because it makes the world a bit brighter.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, we have given up for today. Nobody wants to talk to us. I'm lacking confidence, so we're going to try again tomorrow. Hopefully the energy's a little bit better. I'm going to research some psychology on approaching strangers. Clearly I still have like fear of rejection, visibility and vulnerability, and that's actually something really important to know is connection requires vulnerability, doesn't it? It's showing me how little willingness I have to be vulnerable in order to make this connection with people. Just to ask a stranger a question, like everybody thinks I'm selling something, and then when people come over to interact with Kiwi, I don't want to ruin the nice interaction by asking them for something. When I think about if somebody asked me a question, if somebody was just asking me a thought-provoking question, I would be so happy to help. But yeah, for some reason this way round, I'm just really struggling to approach people and ask them. Feel a bit embarrassed. Okay, we've come back to Whitney to try again.
Every dream and every doubt, trying to figure this life out. Every stranger on the bus, every soul that bends but trust. If you look long enough,
You can't chase it. You can see a remote control car and she wants to chase it. Right, so after being very unsuccessful at trying to street interview, I'm definitely not a street interviewer. I don't know what I was thinking. I just really want other people's perspectives, and I think it would be really interesting to chat to people about it. Come to Bruin Farm Shop and Cafe for coffee and show you this lovely cafe. We've never been here before. We've always been recommended to try it, so I thought we could do that instead. Reflect on the question in a beautiful place. Let's head in, show you around, get a coffee. Recently I've been ordering oat milk cappuccino because I've been learning a lot about like the meat industry, the dairy industry, the egg industry. Like I don't want to support those industries anymore, so I've been getting oat milk cappuccinos instead. I want to do better. I've definitely not been eating any meat after learning about how much cruelty there is in the meat industry, the slaughterhouses, the conditions that animals are kept in. This is not to... And you can do what you want, like everybody has to have their own journey, and if if you're like informed and you still eat meat, fair enough. I just know now after everything that I've learned and the footage I've seen, I just can't eat it anymore, and I'm slowly introducing alternatives to things. Like I don't think I'd ever be like purist vegan where it's like no animal products, that you can't use any animal products at all for anything. I don't think I fully agree with that. Like I think relationships between humans and animals have been symbiotic for a very long time, and I hate saying that as an argument because I know people use that as an argument for, oh, we've been eating meat for a very long time and therefore it's okay. No, we've been doing a lot of really bad things for a very long time, just the duration doesn't make them okay. So like if I ever had my own chickens, I would eat eggs from those chickens because I was controlling what they're eating and that making sure they're well taken care of and that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But when I look at the industries and the scale on which we do things, the way it stands right now, it's like terrible for the environment, it's terrible for the animals, and it's terrible for us. Like it's terrible for our health, what we're actually consuming, the antibiotics and medicines and stuff like that. But then also there's got to be, like, if you believe in energy at all, there's got to be something to do with like ingesting that cruelty. Does that make any sense? Like there's got to be something in that. When you see the cruelty that goes on, you're like, I don't want to take any part in that. Anyway, it's a bit of a rant, sorry. I was just trying to say that I've ordered a cappuccino. Right, well, we really recommend that place. That place is lovely. The video hasn't been as deep and reflective, thought-provoking as I wanted it to be. It just didn't go according to plan, and sometimes videos don't. Like, I have this vision in my head of how it's going to play out, and sometimes it just doesn't play out anything like the vision in my head. And part of that is because I don't have the personality for like approaching people in the street, and I'm completely distracted. I'm like so absorbed in this project that I'm working on called Kindness Chain, building a platform for people to be able to send kindness to strangers, just small acts of kindness. It was born out of a stranger buying me a voucher to get myself some flowers. I would like other people to be able to do that for each other. I know not everybody has people to do nice things for, or people to do nice things for them. So you just sign up to the platform, it's completely free, and you could receive a small act of kindness, and you could give an act of kindness, and you'll see how it all ripples out and how far your small act of kindness travels. And I'm just so excited. I'm so absorbed. It's constantly going on in my head. I had this idea 4 days ago, and I have spent the last 4 days and nights bringing it to life. But next week I'm going on a silent retreat for 10 days. And I'm also going through my remortgage at the moment, and I've got a lot to try and like sort out and tie up before I become uncontactable for 10 days. It feels like the breakthrough I've been waiting for, this idea. I booked the retreat when I was like, I'm so lost, I don't know what I'm doing. So now I'm a little bit like, oh no, I'm gonna go into 10 days of silence and doing nothing on the project. But I still think it's the right thing to go, to be hopefully a better person to make this project a success. Kiwi always does this. She sits right in front of me when I start filming. It's hilarious. You are the star of the show. You're always the star of the show, darling. Don't worry. So back to our question then, are we lonelier than ever? I posed the question on Instagram. So what do you think? Are we more connected or are we more lonely nowadays? As you saw, I tried to go out and a few things happened. Like, I had a couple of responses from people, and that was really kind of them to engage. Most people didn't even want to engage with me. Everybody just wanted to get on their way, and people thought I was trying to sell something, and that made me feel really uncomfortable. Yeah, it showed me where I was still really, really uncomfortable trying to cold engage with people, and where I still have visibility issues and rejection issues. So definitely things for me to contemplate. But I've had some really thoughtful responses on Instagram, and I wanted to read through some of the comments with you. The majority of them are leaning towards more lonely, and that is definitely my feeling and my experience. So I spoke to Janvi yesterday in Whitney, and something she mentioned, which I hadn't even thought about, was that people of my age and older have a point of comparison, right? We have a point of comparison of when we were less technologically connected, maybe less lonely. It's hard to pinpoint why that is, like whether it's just when you're a child it's easier to make friends and you have more friends and more connections and more people around you, versus you get into adulthood and you can isolate more. Obviously COVID will have had an impact where more of a tendency to isolate. It's just really, really interesting. But I want to read you a couple of the comments. So on the whole, people do think we are more lonely, but they also think we're more connected by way of technology, less actual meaningful connection. And this is something that came up a lot in the responses. People think our connections are higher in number but lower in meaning or substance, like they're so much more superficial. A lot of people just gave a direct answer of like more lonely, but also people think it's both. So we're more connected, as in we have the opportunity of connection, but the quality of the connection is diminished. And this is something I completely agree with in terms of what I'm observing, what I'm living and experiencing, but also what I'm observing out and about. This one I wanted to read. So without a doubt, we are more technically connected than ever before. Thousands of miles can be breached in milliseconds with the help of the all-seeing World Wide Web, but also more disconnected than I've ever witnessed. You can be in a room of 1,000 people and never physically say a word. It seems we are all slowly imploding into our own personal black holes. Gone are the days of striking up a conversation with a stranger, say good morning when out on a walk. A simple smile to a passerby may not change the world, but may mean the world to that person. As technology races forward, we sadly seem to be left behind, and a screen in your hand has more impact, more importance, more meaning than the world around us, the people next to us. Life is speeding up and we can't hold on to it. We are losing our grip. This resonates throughout my whole body. Like, I feel this comment. This is what I feel on a day-to-day basis. Of course, I get positive interactions in passing with Kiwi, but the reason that they are so noteworthy is because they are so rare. And if I don't have Kiwi, there's no interaction. And this is something that I worry for, like the depth of loneliness that I do feel in this modern world. I worry for people who don't even have pets, who don't have like a loving dog or cat to take the edge off the loneliness when they're in their own space, or to welcome those interactions when they're out in the world. It breaks my heart. Like, it absolutely breaks my heart. And I wonder if there's like more we could be doing. Like, I'm gonna try, because you've seen I'm not very brave, right? And there is something else to analyze there, because connection requires vulnerability, and I feel we're less and less willing to be vulnerable. Would you agree? I want to try and do a video where we say hello to everyone we see and see what impact that has on our day, what impact it has on our mood, because I feel like it could go either way. Because when you're constantly saying hello, like, you do get ignored sometimes. I'm out on a walk, I try and just make eye contact with people, and you can see people are scared. Depending on the energy you receive, it can really go either way, right? It could make you feel more alone if people don't want to engage, or it could genuinely be a case of you get back what you put out there. As I've been thinking about it, I've started to wonder whether we're asking the wrong question entirely. Maybe the question isn't whether we're lonelier. Maybe it's whether we've traded local connection for global connection. In trying to connect with everyone, have we lost touch with the people right in front of us? So it poses an interesting question. Is the opposite of loneliness really having access to more people? Or is it just being fully present with the people who are already here? And this is something that Kiwi teaches me so much. She doesn't care about algorithms, reach, followers. Lucky for me, she just cares about the human right in front of her. Stranger smiling at her from across the cafe, or the person that looks most likely to give her a treat or some affection. And I think in a lot of ways we can learn so much from these glorious creatures that are our pets, that focus on the present moment and the present people around them. Just a note to say, there'll be no video next week, possibly the week after. I'm away on a silent retreat now for 10 days. I'll maybe do a little video about how it was when I get back. Tell me if you'd be interested to see that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me.